Hi everybody. So in the previous class we have discussed regarding the solutions of partial differential equations using Fourier transform technique. In that regard, so we solved two problems. One in the infinite region, minus infinity less than x less than plus infinity, and other one in the semi-infinite region, means 0 less than x less than infinity. In these two regions we found a solution with the help of Fourier transform technique. Now we have to see how it works for the finite domain. Means we are going to take the interval as 0 less than x less than L, as same in the case of Laplace transform case and method of separation of variables. So we have the experience of finding the solution with those methods for these kinds of boundaries. Now we have to see how we have to find the solution using the solution of heat equation in the finite domain. Let us see the problem. So consider the problem. Uxx is equal to 1 by k into ut. There will be no difference. In the region 0 less than x less than L. Look here, you may take k this side, then simply it becomes ut is equal to k into uxx. Means it is same as previous problem. Is it right? Ut is equal to k into uxx in the finite domain 0 less than x less than L, t greater than 0. When subjected to the boundary conditions, u of 0t is equal to 0 and u of L comma t is equal to 0 and an initial condition. The initial condition is different, that is u of x comma 0 is equal to, it is so given in the splitted interval, that is 2 u naught x by L when x lies between 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to L by 2, and it is 2 u naught into 1 minus x by L when L by 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to L. Right? So it is defined in the two subintervals. One interval is 0 and L by 2 and other one interval is L by 2 and L. Okay, this is the initial condition. For this problem you have to find the solution with the help of Laplace transform technique. As you know, Laplace transform is defined in three different intervals, one in infinite domain, other in semi-infinite domain, that is Fourier cosine transformation and Fourier sine transformation, and also we have studied the Fourier transformation in the finite domain. So there you know the Fourier transform of a function f of x is given by integration from 0 to L f of x into sin n pi by L into x into dx. This is finite Fourier sine transformation. In the similar manner you can find finite Fourier cosine transformation also. Now we are going to apply finite Fourier sine transformation on the both sides of the given equation. That is nothing but finite Fourier sine transform of ut. This is equal to k into finite Fourier sine transform of uxx. Then by applying this, you are going to get integration from 0 to L of ut into sine n pi by L into x into dx as same here. So with the definition of Fourier finite transformation, right, this is equal to k into integration from 0 to L of uxx into sin n pi by L into x into dx. Right. Now here you have to integrate on both sides. First I am going to consider this one. So as you know, the derivative is independent of integration, that's why you may take it, then it becomes, as you know, dus divided by dt, right? Dus by dt, because by taking the derivative del by del t, then it simply becomes u into sine of this, but this is nothing but Fourier sine transformation. then you can write like this, right? So I am going to write it as d instead of del because there will be only one variable. That's why the partial derivatives becomes ordinary derivatives. This is equal to k into, here you have to apply, you have to integrate twice. You have to integrate twice. You know how to integrate this. So that is, so for this is for integration and this is for differentiation, means by parts you have to integrate. So I am going to give you one step only, then I am going to write directly the, so whatever the thing obtained after integrating, right? So now ux into sin n pi by L into x, limit 0 to L, right? Plus, minus, integration from 0 to L, ux into, so differentiation of sin n pi by L into x is n pi by L into cos n pi by L into x into dx. Now, by applying the limits, look here, so when x is equal to L, LL get cancelled, sin n pi value is 0. When x is 0, sin 0 is 0. That's why this total term will become 0. Similarly, you have to integrate this also. Then also, finally, by integrating twice, you are going to get the equation minus k into, this k outside, minus k into n square pi square by L square into us, right? So after simplification, you can write this equation as dus by dt plus k into n square pi square by L square into us equal to 0. Got it? So now it is total term is, so this total term is just like a constant. It look like simply y dash plus a into y is equal to 0. It is a first order ordinary differential equation. You know how to find the solution. Then by finding the solution, you are going to get us of, so n comma t, us of n comma t, you know the notation for the Fourier, so finite Fourier transformation, that is capital F of n, capital Fs of n for the finite Fourier sine transformation. But simply for the, so Fourier sine transformation there will be alpha. For the finite transformation there will be n. Okay. So that's why. So now this equation will becomes this equal to some constant into okay, e power minus k into n square pi square by L square into t. Is it right? Into t. So minus k square n square k into n square pi square by L square into t. That will become the, so solution for this first order differential equation. So now we want the solution for the original equation. That's why we have to apply inverse transformation. But before applying inverse transformation, you have to remove this constant. But to remove this constant, you have to make use of the initial condition given here. So for this, the finite Fourier sine transform of this term is given by, look here, f of u of x comma 0 is equal to, so integration from 0 to L I have to write, but here the function is splitted. That's why, so simply I will show you 0 to L u of x comma 0 into sin n pi by L into x into dx. This is the original concept. But here u of x comma 0 is given in the two subintervals. Is it right? Defined in the two subintervals. That's why you have to split the integration. Then that will become integration from 0 to L by 2 of. So in that interval u is given by 2 u naught x by L. Is it right? That's why that will become 2 u naught x by L into sin n pi by L into x into dx plus integration from L by 2 to L. L by 2 to L. In that interval, so the function is given by like this. What is that? 2 u naught, where u naught is constant, 1 minus x by L into sin n pi by L into x into dx. Right. Now you have to integrate these two. So this is for differentiation. This is for integration. You know how to integrate by using parts. By using parts method, you have to integrate. After integrating, you are going to get, I am not going to do the integration here because you know it is a simple problem and you are able to integrate it using the method of, by parts, is it right? So then after integration you are going to get 4 u naught into L divided by n square pi square into sin n pi by 2. Sin n pi by 2. Look here. Here one speciality is when n is odd, there will be a non-zero value. Means n becomes 1, then sin pi by 2, the value is 1. If n is 3, then the value is 3 pi by 2, the value is minus 1. So similarly 5 pi by 2, the value is plus 1. 7 pi by 2, the value is minus 1. Like that it varies, plus 1, minus 1, plus 1, minus 1, the value changes. When n is even, then it becomes, so look here, when n is 2, it becomes sin pi value is 0. So when n is 4, then 2 2s are 4, there will be sin 2 pi. Sin 2 pi value is 0. Similarly, you know, sin 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi, for all values of those, the value becomes 0. Means when n is even, the total value becomes 0, and when n is odd, there will be minus 1 or plus 1. Okay, that's why this term can be written as 0, so capital US of x0, because I am going to write this as capital U after Fourier transformation. You can write this as capital US of x comma 0 is equal to 0 if n is even, and if n is odd, then the value will become 4 u naught L divided by 2n plus 1 whole square, because I have taken n as odd, 2n plus 1 whole square into pi square, right, into, so minus 1 to the power n, into minus 1 to the power n if n is odd. Is it right? If n is odd, you can express the initial condition like this. Now, using this initial condition in this solution, so when n is, here put t is equal to t, put t is equal to 0 in this expression, then the exponential function will become 1, and here the value is this one. That's why the constant value will become c is equal to, so 4 u naught L divided by 2n plus 1 whole square into pi square into minus 1 to the power n. The value will become like this. Otherwise c is 0 when n is even, but that is not useful because the solution will become trivial. That's why we are not going to consider the even values for n. Simply we are going to consider the values for odd. That's why c will becomes like this. Now, so our solution will becomes us of n comma t is equal to, c value is 4 u naught L divided by 2n plus 1 whole square into pi square into minus 1 to the power n into the function e power minus k into 2n plus 1 whole square pi square divided by L square into t, because there, so while writing the solution I wrote it as n square. But now I am going to write it as 2n plus 1 whole square, because I have chosen the values for odd only. That's why you have to write, so 2n plus 1 instead of n. Now this is the solution, but so you have to apply inverse transformation to get the solution for the original equation. That's why by applying inverse transformation on both sides of this equation, you are going to get, so by applying inverse transformation to this term, that is simply will become u of x comma t. Is it right? U of x comma t. Now, So is equal to, you know how to write the inverse transformation for the finite, inverse transformation of a finite Fourier transformation is, so 2 by L into summation n is equal to 0 to infinity of the function fs of n into sin n pi by L into x. This is the known thing. So using this one, in this expression, you are going to write 2 by L into summation n is equal to 0 to infinity us of n comma t into sin n pi by L into x. This will become the inverse transformation. But what about your us of n comma t? It is nothing but this total term. So that's why this equation will simply becomes, so here you can find 4, and this 2 will becomes 8 u naught L divided by pi square. Okay. So into so this L and this L get cancelled. That's why L will not exist. So into n is equal to 0 to infinity of minus 1 to the power n into 2n plus 1 whole square into e power minus k into 2n plus 1 whole square into pi square divided by L square into t into sin n pi. N means here you have to write 2n plus 1 because it is true only for the odd values. That's why it will become 2n plus 1 n pi means 2n plus 1 into pi by L into x. So this will become the right. So this will become the solution for the given partial differential equation. This is, it shows, it gives a very simple procedure for the solution. Okay. So that's why it has a merits. So as well as, so it also had some demerits. I will tell you later. So now you can see, you experienced how to find the solution of a heat equation in a finite domain in a simple manner. Okay. Let us take one more problem. I am going to give you one more problem. That is, find the temperature distribution. The problem is in the form of statement. What it says? Find the temperature distribution in a semi-infinite rod. Semi-infinite rod means one side is known and other side is not known. Means 0 to infinity. Right. When heat supplied at the end x is equal to 0. Here we have given the temperature. Heat supplied at this end. Okay. At the rate g of t. At the rate g of t. With 0 initial temperature. So at time t0 the temperature is 0. Okay. So now you have to formulate this problem. Okay. Then you go for the solution. So what is the problem? Here heat distribution means there will be heat equation. Ut is equal to k into uxx. Okay. And the boundary is 0 less than x less than infinity. And time must be greater than 0. Okay. Boundary conditions will becomes u of x comma 0 is equal to 0 for all 0 less than x less than infinity. This is the initial condition. They have given at 0, so initial temperature, right? So 0 initial temperature means at the time t0, the initial condition, u becomes 0. And the boundary conditions are given by, so at the rate they have given u of 0t is equal to g of t, and further you have to assume that u of x of t so becomes 0. U of x of t and ux of x comma t, the u itself and its derivative itself with respect to x both tends to 0 as x tends to infinity. So without these conditions it is not possible to apply Fourier transformation, right? That's why you have to assume these values. So you have the problems, right? So this is the equation, this is the initial condition, and these two are the boundary conditions. Now you know how to find the solution. Simply I am going to show you what is the solution for this problem. I am not going to give in detail about this problem because you know so how to apply the Fourier. Here you have to apply. So I think you have a knowledge. This is the semi-infinite boundary. That's why you have to apply either sine transformation or cosine transformation. Okay. So you have an experience with sine transformation. Here try with the cosine transformation. Right. So after applying the cosine transformation to this problem, right, you are going to get the differential equation as duc divided by dt plus k into alpha square into uc. This is equal to minus k into square root of 2 by pi into g of t. So you can find this as a differential equation after applying the Fourier cosine transformation on both sides of this equation. You know Fourier cosine transformation is square root of 2 by pi into integration from 0 to infinity. So u of x comma t into cosine means cos n pi, so cos alpha x into dx. Is it right? Cos alpha x into dx. So by applying that, so here you are going to get this differential equation, and the boundary condition is simple, initial condition is simple. So after applying the Fourier transformation, you are going to get capital UC of alpha comma 0 is equal to 0. Using this in the solution of this equation, so by finding the solution, you obtain the solution as UC of alpha t is equal to minus k into square root of 2 by pi into integration from 0 to t some g of tau, so into e power minus k into alpha square into t minus tau into d tau. Okay, so this will become the solution. So then by applying inverse transformation to this one, you are going to get the solution in the form, so u of x comma t is equal to minus square root of k by pi into integration from 0 to t of g of tau divided by square root of t minus tau into e power minus x square divided by 4k into t minus tau into d tau. So whole thing into d tau. So this will become the solution. So by yourself, so you try this problem, I think surely you will get this solution. Otherwise, if you find any difficulty in finding the solution for this problem, so please text me. So I am sure I will give you the solution. Okay. So take care. Thank you.